Hey friends, today's video is on the Imminence SMG, but I'm going to give you a huge tip for any loot from the Salvation's Edge raid where this SMG comes from. So to start the raid, obviously it's in the Pale Heart. Gotta scroll all the way top right, which is very unintuitive in this game, but there it is. With the population decline in the game, as well as this being the hardest raid for LFG, it's very unlikely that you have a one and done smooth no comms clear, which is normally what LFG is comfortable with. So I'm going to suggest some alternatives to where you don't necessarily have to do the whole raid at all. So what the alternative is each week, load up spoil checkpoints, you and a friend or two or three or four. I try to post in like my friend Discord, hey, I'm doing spoil checkpoints. Anybody want to join? And we have 6 in a couple hours. We'll just be like, we'll meet at 6 p.m. Do this. And we go through Ron, we get 15 from there. Vogue opening in the secret chest, we get 30 from there. Vow, we get 15. And Crota, we get 15 for a total of 75 per week. It costs 20 spoils to buy a red box weapon. So what you want to do for Salvation's Edge, load up a witness checkpoint, get the kill. That's really the only encounter you have to really learn in this raid. Obviously, you want to do the rest of them for loot. But the biggest tip is if you're really intimidated by the Verity encounter, that's the 4th encounter with the shapes and the statues and the cosmetics and the one that might require some communication. Forgot to mention the engram.blue website, which has some Verity tools. It has a fireteam viewer, so if your teammates for whatever reason don't want to change the cowboy hat to be more easily identifiable, you can just use this. It also has a solver if you have to dissect. Very useful. If that's too intimidating, you don't have to do it at all. You can skip out on it entirely, earn all your loot from the first 3 encounters, and then checkpoint to the witness. You could just skip it. And then each week, you do 1 witness kill, spend your spoils on it. Killing the witness drops a key, which you can use to start excision, which is in the same place in the Pale Heart. Once again, scrolling. And with that key, after an excision, 12-man activity, you get another red box, random one. So this means that likely it's going to take you like somewhere 3 to 5 weeks to get your desired weapon. And if you don't want to do that, you want to rip the band-aid off like I did, oh man, it's a story. But the idea is, if you're at 0 out of 5 on the patterns, you might as well get the Adept version. And if you do all the Adept challenges, the weapons drop with multiple perks, therefore making it more likely that you get the role that you want. And that's exactly what I did. Instead of waiting for a 5-week cycle, I ripped the band-aid off and I went into LFG, went through probably like 20 different members cycling in over a 13-hour completion. And it was a pretty good experience. It felt like a day 1 raid. Everyone was really respectful. And I got the exact loot that I wanted for both the SMGs and the glaive. If I'm really nitpicking here, I got a handling masterwork. That's not really what I'm looking for when I want to pump the range up just a little bit so I could stay away from the danger that are fusion rifles. But with this collective purpose perk, let's read. There's not like hard data on it, but it gives you a handling bump when you're near teammates. And this 84 handling plus the 15 from collective purpose is like 99 handling, which means it's going to be a lightning swap speed. What made me want this SMG in the first place was Slice. Dodge, shoot a bullet at opponent, they do 10% less damage. That's incredible. That just means they can't 2-verse with a pulse rifle anymore. They have to hit all crits. It's so influential to gunfights, which is what I built today's build around. It's a lightweight, 2 tiers to mobility, 4 resilience to tank the adaptive pulses, 7 recovery when I pick up an orb, Fonta Restoration kicks in, Reaper's baked into 6 Coyote, so it brings me to 10 recovery. It's like I'm 10-4-10 after getting a kill. 6 Coyote has 2 dodges. I refill them with Insulation, Recuperation, and Devour kick in. Has Vigilance. This is a lethal 6s build, and for fun, I threw on Still Hunt, but you could really throw on anything you want. I believe I was also using Red Death in the gameplay, as well as a different gameplay with Gemini Jester that was using the Chaos Reshape perk, which is like Frenzy. It's just a better version of Frenzy. So I was using Fighting Lion, Gemini Jester on Prism, using Slice to activate the wall hacks. I guess you could go Thread of Facet of Solitude to get the same effect if you don't happen to dodge, so that's worth mentioning. But know that SMGs are going to get a buff shortly that increases their magazine, which means that interaction probably won't work anymore. So here's my overall recommendation for this SMG if you're going to get it. Ideally, you get the range masterwork so we don't have to cope on handling. And then don't overcomplicate it. Just put range and stability into it. It's going to be fantastic. Next thing is target lock is potentially getting a buff, which might take a bullet off of it, making it a clean 0.67 on all resiliences. Might even be able to have some of this forgiveness baked in. So yeah, I recommend that too. On Prism Titan, when you're punching all the time, you get Desperate Measures and Radiant at the same time. Drops to a 0.53, and I do have clips of that for a totally different video. Today's video is only going to involve Kill Clip, which is this. And then if I wanted to, I guess I could run a single surge to make it a clean 0.53. And then I'm also using Chaos Reshape, which goes to this, and then to this. Once again, single surge, 0.47 on most hunters. That's incredible. Chaos Reshape also gives you some health periodically, so even though I'm not on a Devour class, it feels like I have Devour up when this perk is ripping. I know for a lot of you, it's going to be hard to do, but remember with Gemini and Fighting Lion, there's a cadence to combat where you can use Gemini to fix a mistake when you're off your timer, so that you can keep the perk rolling and rolling and rolling. You get better at banking Fighting Lion off walls to get a damage tag. Sometimes you intentionally eat one seeker of the swarm grenade so that you're scorched, so that you don't have to worry about the combat timer. There's a lot of little tricks to it. Anyway, friends, I put a lot of gameplay into this one, so you have some entertainment there. I hope that my Salvation's Edge tips helped. I will very, very quickly go through all of the weapons real quick, just since you're here already, since you're listening. Sniper rifle, chill clip, unfortunately, does not work on kill with Prism. I already thought of that interaction, so I'd say don't overcomplicate it. Opening shot, snapshot, but keep away is worth mentioning. If you're hard scoping without Knucklehead radar and keep away goes away, well, you know a shotgunner just rolled up on you, so you should de-scope. That's what makes it good. It's a high impact, kills all supers. Glaive, I already made a Glaive video. This one's kinda cope, but it has some builds. Nullify, Graviton Lance, I believe, is being nerfed, but not necessarily these. If you can somehow land Heal Clip and Chaos Reshape, I think that would be really, really fun. But you might be able to do some Titan punching with Desperate Measures that also make it very good. Maybe you run it with Chaperone, Shat Body Punch, switch to this, delete somebody. See what it would hit with Radiant. Yeah, you would get res gated, but remember, Knockout can give you surges. So you can make an orb from Knockout and get a 0.43 after punching somebody, then heal clip the next person, and so on. The bow is the best in slot for bows because Collective Purpose makes you draw faster when you're near teammates. This one is very simple, hipfire Archer's Gambit. Go into the reload, go into the draw time, and you can even use the, I guess, Adept draw time if you want, or if you don't have an Adept version. There's some sort of half draw string. There you go. I still recommend hipfire grip or radar booster. Radar booster is very good. This is a PvE sword. Try to get an Adept version. It'll save you a lot of vault space in the long run. And then we already talked about the SMG. So good luck hunting the loot, friends. Enjoy the gameplay. I go on some crazy streaks in this one.
Oh, there's two of them. No. Oh.
What time is it? Shax? Shax, are you there? Can you get me a water? It's just a question.
Perk gave you a gun. It's funny.
Now that was a streak.
Yeah.
I was locked.
Prove you're ready for what comes. Opponent claimed Zone A. Zone C captured. Opponent claimed Zone B. This is not the end. Be vigilant. Opponent claimed Zone C. Zone A captured. Opponent claimed Zone
Dude, I have a nasty build I'm gonna put together on this. It's a tier 40 build with 10-4-10, 8-6-2, but with 4 small mods. I can still like take all the surges and everything, so I'm gonna put that on Prismatic and try it after this. For what you were talking about with the Geminis and grapple and whatnot. I choked. No.
I knew I read that spawn flip correctly. Going crazy out here. They just took their damn time is all.
I'm coming, Kim. Yeah, behind you? No.
It was
I'm
3,
tripping.
I had power ammo. I'm gonna make a very noob play, but it should work. I shouldn't get punished. I had the Cade perk ready to go. I was just gonna like dare them to try to counter snipe me. I think that was a solid SMG match, considering this is disjunction. Weirdly, it does play a little close quarters if you understand that B flag exists. Not mentioning any specific names, random blueberries and 6s. Yeah, I think that's the SMG gameplay though.
Young wolves and iron lords to battle. Claim zone A.
Bold opening play.
Rip.
Good opener. Thanks for the
Yeah, we
walls.
back Gemini that guy.
Thanks for the walls. I'm so surprised he chowed that at that point. A rare time by staying in cover, teammate gets me out.
No, I wanted to melee there.
Missed my fighting lion at the very end, but
You have
I think that was a good showcase of the potential of Chaos Repurposed. Sorry, Chaos Reshaped. Frenzy 2.
Your metal will be tested, Guardians. Begin. Opponent claims Zone C. Zone A captured. Zone A lost.
Why didn't they give Alpha Luffy to Thruster, man?
Zone B lost.
Forgot I don't have holsters on.
Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. I'm calling it. Guardian.
Ay, ay, ay.
Zone B lost.
Just hold the shotgun out, man.
Well fought.
Duel me.